I think I just heard Andrew say what time it is. That's right. It's China232.com time, if you didn't know.
Welcome back, everybody. And I'd like to dedicate this show to a young lady in Toronto. Goes by the name of Linda Tao. And I just want to say, Linda, that even though we didn't get off on the best foot here in Shanghai, I hope that's all water under the bridge. Back to Ad.
Okay. Thank you. And thank you, Linda. Okay, good. Today we have a little bit of a longer lesson, and I hope it will be interesting still for the duration of the podcast.
Excellent, Ad. Ad is sounding more formal and professional.
Yeah, I sometimes like to joke about that, pretending I'm very sophisticated, as I've said before.
This is the thing that I love about Ad. I kid you not. 2 minutes ago, I was just telling Ad that I felt like a sleepy cat.
That's a true story.
And I almost didn't want to do the podcast. Now I'm full of life, and I think Ad just brought that. Ad, that was magical.
I have that characteristic and quality about myself. It's almost my gift.
Loving it, Ad.
Good. Okay, so what are we talking about today, though? The question on everyone's mind again.
We are looking at the new world of online dating.
What do you mean by that, Andy?
Well, Ad, there's a lot of websites out there, www.somethingorother.com, that are dedicated to meeting, that special boy or that special girl online. And then so you meet online. Basically, you don't want to go to the bars, or you're having a hard time meeting people.
And you can look for things that everyone has common characteristics, and you can see what kind of person they are already online.
You can see a lot of things about them. You can chat. It's it's pretty easy.
Unless you lie.
Some people lie. Don't lie.
I like to embellish, we can say, sometimes. Okay, let's get back. We'll get right into the dialogue, though, I think. Wow, that's the 4th date you've been on this week.
I've been on this new online dating site. It's free for girls, and guys pay about $30 a month for a premium membership. There are tons of girls on there.
They must be pretty desperate, though. And they wouldn't need to be on there if they were a decent catch.
That's what I thought, but there's a lot of good-looking girls who hate the bar scene because they get hit on constantly by slimy guys. This way they can see your profile and see if you have anything in common.
Isn't it hard to judge their appearance based on a thumbnail picture?
This site makes everyone upload at least 5 pictures with a high-quality resolution. It's true, though, that some people's pics make them look much better than they do in person. It's hit and miss.
What do you do when you show up on a date and you know immediately she's not cutting it in the looks department?
It's a delicate situation. Obviously, you can't let her know what you're thinking. I try to make afternoon coffee dates, and I always have a plan B in the back of my mind.
Sounds like too much hassle.
It's still easier, healthier, and cheaper, though, than being in smoky bars all the time.
That's true. Maybe I'll try it out. I've got nothing to lose.
I love that ad.
So we're talking about online dating, and some terms came up here.
Yeah,
first thing that you noticed, Andy.
The first thing I just said, we're on this dating website, okay? And we often use the word "on" to describe being, on a website. We don't say I'm in the website or I'm at the website. We say I've been on this website.
Right,
means you've been using it on a regular basis.
I'm using the website, exactly. I'm on it.
Yeah, I've been on this site. Yeah, and we also call it a site, not always website. I've been on this site.
Right, a lot of short forms here.
A lot of short forms. Next one is tons. And I think I talked about this one on another lesson.
Sure, you did, but it's a good one.
It's good to review and rehash.
I like to review. What does that mean again, actually?
Well, it's slang again, and it just means very many. Actually, it's a weight measure. It means, I think, 2,000 pounds.
Right,
one
something
ton.
like that, yeah.
But we use it just to say there's a lot of something, right? So I said there's tons of girls on there. There's lots of girls on this website.
Right, tons of girls are giving me phone calls.
Yeah, or
Tons of people on the website like to send me fan mail, for example.
I think a lot of people like that, Addy. What else? I ate a ton of pizza last night, which is absolutely true. We were watching the tennis match, and 4 of us ordered 2 Papa John's large, finished them very quickly. I had about an hour in bed lying there.
I thought I was going to have a heart attack myself.
It actually was only 3 of us that ended up eating them. That was pretty bad.
That's true.
We had a ton.
It was almost a race to finish who could finish it too. So that was not good. Okay, anyways, moving on. What do we got next? What do we have? Desperate. What does it mean to be desperate?
All right, desperate means you're in great need of something. Okay, now when we talk about a guy or a girl being desperate in this situation, we're talking about someone who's really wants to find a date, and they're having a hard time finding an appropriate date. They really want somebody, and they want them very
desperate
quickly.
just means you really want it now.
But I want to just point out the part about the dating thing.
Okay.
If you're really looking for a date, if you just say she's desperate, we're not talking about she's desperate for a drink of water.
Mm-hmm.
You could be, but this is not what we're
right.
talking
In general,
about.
if you just say desperate, you know that they're talking about looking for someone else.
She
that
really
special
wants
someone.
to find a guy, a good guy, but usually if you're desperate's not a good thing, because usually you can settle for anybody in that case.
Right, exactly. If you're desperate, you settle, meaning you're going for someone less than that you really would be hoping to get.
Mm-hmm.
So don't do that.
Don't be desperate. Good lesson. Next one, a decent catch.
Oh.
Okay,
Well, first, I'll use it in a sentence. I would like to say that I'm definitely a decent catch. At least a decent catch, we'll say.
Very nice, Ad. Good confidence there.
So what could you guess by that then, judging by my type of guy? So it's probably a good thing, I'm guessing.
It's probably a great thing, Addy.
Okay.
And yeah, decent catch. Well, what is a catch? It's actually alluding to fishing.
Right, we're going fishing.
Right, we're going fishing, and if you bring in a good fish, they call that a good catch.
Oh, right.
Like in the sea. And, when you're dating, a good catch is someone who a lot of people would want to date. They've got a lot of desirable characteristics.
Right,
Maybe
good qualities.
they're beautiful. They're handsome.
They're smart. They're funny.
They have money, maybe. It depends what
It's
your
almost like I'm talking about myself right here. It's unbelievable.
Maybe they meant this word for you, Ad.
I thought they did.
Yeah. The bar scene.
Oh, the bar scene. The scene.
The nightlife. We're talking about, you're in a city, you're going out.
Right, what's
at
happening?
night
What's happening in the night?
in the bars.
In the bars, in the bar scene.
So there's a bunch of bars in a city. They call that the bar scene. And in this case, we're kind of talking about going out and looking for that special someone to share a drink with, maybe, or who knows.
Share a dance. May I have this dance? Is that too much to ask in this day and age? I'd like to ask.
Very good. I don't think that's too much to ask. As a matter of fact, I think it's nice, and it's something that gentlemen aren't doing enough
I know.
these
So
days.
actually, on the website, why don't you guys tell us what you think? How do you approach the people of the opposite sex? How do you ask someone? Do you ask people to dance? Do you say, that's a nice shirt you're wearing?
Yeah. Now back to the bar scene. You could the way to use that, you could say, how's the bar scene in Tokyo?
Right.
That means, are the bars, what are the bars like? A lot of people go young. Is it a young crowd?
Right.
What is it like? What's the bar scene
Wild.
like?
We're going to say wild.
I'm going to say wild.
I'm going to guess. It's going to be a guess for Tokyo. Anyone listening in Tokyo, feel free to invite me to the nightlife scene.
I'd love to go to Tokyo, and so would Ad. So hello to everyone in Tokyo.
Good.
Getting hit on. We talked about these girls who are a good catch.
Right.
At least in some ways. Models, for example, get hit on a lot. People flirt with them a lot, don't they, Ad?
Right. They talk to them and try to get them to go on a date and do things like that, but always bothering. Not just to talk in a friendly conversation, which is sometimes nice.
The next one is a term that a lot of people use, slimy, to refer to guys, Ad. What's a slimy guy, Ad?
Well, it's a negative quality. We'll say that first. If you think about slimy, you think about something almost in the garbage, don't you?
Yeah, but we're
Dirty.
talking about tricky. Actually, they're
Okay.
hiding something, right? They want something from you
Right.
more than what they're saying, and they're also pretending to be somebody else in order to get what they want, which is
Right.
this beautiful woman.
Right, and it's obvious to the girl, and we know that they're a slimy guy, right?
There's lots of slimy guys out there. They go have a few drinks, they meet the ladies, and they're telling them, I was a professional athlete and blah blah blah. They're
or
making
just
up
acting,
stories,
pretending like you're such a nice guy, and nicer than you really are, right?
Yeah,
you want to be honest.
You act like you're better than you are in order for the girl to like you. You're being a slime ball. You're slimy, trying to get in there when you don't deserve it. So girls don't like getting hit on by all these slimy guys. Maybe this is why they like the online dating thing. Some of them.
Some of them.
Next one ad is having something in common with somebody else. Now, I want to talk about this in common piece here. When you're talking about finding a partner, finding a date, you want to find out what you have in common with them. What things do you share with them? Are you from the same place?
Right, same background.
Do you like the same music? Do you
like
have,
to do the same things?
Do you have the same hobbies? Do you have the same interests for conversation? Do you like the same food? These are things you have in common. Now, if you date somebody and you have nothing in common with them, it usually doesn't go very well.
Right, it can be a lot of what they call as dead air, which means no talking.
It's usually not great because why do you want to spend time with someone who basically you don't share anything with?
Right, no common interest, nothing to talk about that you like anyways. Only
Yeah.
negative
Maybe
things.
the only thing in common is you like the way each other looks, and that doesn't
Well,
always
it's not
work.
for a long-term relationship, I wouldn't think. Good. Next one.
Thumbnail picture.
Thumbnail picture, small picture that you see that almost looks like the size of your thumbnail.
Yeah, so these are the ones that are often you upload on websites. The little pictures.
Right. Like on your MSN Messenger or something like this.
The resolution on these photos sometimes is low. So a high resolution photo means the photo is very clear.
Right. That means there's many dots
You
per
can,
a certain area, right?
yeah, you can see the picture very clearly. Like a higher resolution photo obviously takes up more space, but it's easier to see.
Right. Clearer picture, more information in the picture.
Right. Okay, the next phrase is another good one, of course. It's called hit and miss. Okay, so if you describe something as hit and miss, it means sometimes you hit it, sometimes you don't. You don't know beforehand if it's going to be good. You just know that you got to keep trying. Sometimes it will work, sometimes it won't. So when I said the online dating scene is hit and miss, what does that mean, Ad?
It means that sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not at all, really.
Exactly, right? So we were talking about if you're looking at this person's thumbnail picture, you can't really tell whether they're good enough looking for you, and you can't really tell how much you're going to like them. So you go out and meet them. All you've done is, chatted online a bit.
Right. And some people say that they're a very fun person or something, very easygoing, but when you meet them, they're maybe not quite exactly what you pictured in your mind, how it would be in real life, right? You're talking on the internet.
Exactly. So you read their profile and then you see them in real life and you realize, hey, wait a second, this is not what I had in mind, and it didn't work. Sometimes it's better than you thought. So it's hit and miss. You don't know, but you keep going for it.
Okay, the next one we have is she's not cutting it in the looks department.
This is extremely slang, but it's pretty cool if you can pull this
Right.
one off,
Okay,
if you can say this.
Let's break it down a little bit first. If you're not cutting something, that means you're not up to the standard that you're looking for.
So she's not cutting it in which aspect?
In the look, so how their appearance.
In the looks department. Sometimes, I don't know where this came from, but sometimes we say department. So you could say he's not cutting it in the romance department, meaning the girl's thinking, hey, this guy's not romantic enough for me.
Okay, a delicate situation here, right?
Yeah, so a delicate situation is you need to handle the situation very carefully, very delicately in order to get what you want. You can't just go in there and do whatever you want. So in this case, we're talking about you see the girl or the guy and you say, bring up another phrase we just said, he's not cutting it in the looks department. What am I going to do as a girl? I know that the date's not going to go very well. I can already tell I'm not attracted to him, but what can I do? I can't just leave. I certainly cannot tell him this is a delicate situation. I have to handle it
Right. Be
very
careful.
carefully.
Because it's a fragile situation because you don't want to hurt the other person again. Next one we got here. We have, what do we have?
Plan B.
Plan B. Okay, we have plan A and then we have plan B. Plan A is like your first plan that you have, your first idea of what you want to do. But you should always have a plan B or a backup plan in case plan A doesn't work, right?
Yeah, so for example, what's a good example of a plan B? You say, let's go to the park tomorrow. That's your plan. That's plan A.
But if it's raining, you're going to have a plan B.
Yeah, if it's raining, you're going to go somewhere else, somewhere inside. If you don't have a plan B and plan A doesn't work out, you're stuck. You don't know what you're going to do. So we said in the dating thing, if you go out and you're not happy with the person, you got to have a plan B. You got to have a backup plan. You got to say, you know what? I've got to work tonight or something like that. You've got to make an excuse. You've got to have some sort of thing to get out of the situation without hurting their
Or
feelings.
a shorter amount of time at least, right?
Some sort of shorter amount of time. You got to have a plan B.
Plan B. Next one we have, back of my mind, right?
If you have something in the back of your mind, it means you aren't always thinking about it consciously, but it is still there. It's on your mind. You think about it from time to time, but it's not always with you. Kind of like, I'll give you an example. If you have to work tomorrow and you're having fun with your friends, you don't really let yourself have too much fun because, in the back of your mind, you've got to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and work tomorrow. Even though you're not thinking about it every second, you can just kind of feel it in the back of your mind.
Right. So you're not going to be having quite the same fun that you might be normally having. Like you won't have that last drink or something like this because in the back of your mind that, you're getting up tomorrow.
Although when you hang out with the people that don't have that in the back of their minds, that's a lot of fun because they like to have fun.
And that fun is good.
Fun is absolutely good. And I don't have to be there to get up at 6 with them. So that's really nice. The very last one is hassle.
Hassle. Something that is bothersome.
It's annoying, frustrating to deal with.
Irritating.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to go watch the game live, but it's such a hassle to drive there, pay for parking, walk all the way to the stadium and listen to the screaming fans. I think I'll just stay home and watch it on TV.
Right.
It's too much of a hassle. That
Right.
sounds like a lazy person.
It certainly does. It's like, I'd like to, go to the gym today, but it's such a hassle to get out of my clothes in my bed right now, right?
I've got to get off the couch. It's too much of a hassle. It's too bothersome, too much work.
Right, I can't be bothered, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, wow, a lot of stuff there. I hope it was sinking in. Everything's coming in your mind.
Absolutely. I think it is. Go over all the lessons because I've noticed we're really using a lot of these terms over and over again in our natural speech, which is nice because we're picking out the stuff that we really, as native speakers, say all the time. So I think if you really listen and get into it,
Listen again.
and tell your friends. I can't stress enough how great that would be.
Or tell me. I don't mind that either. Different strategy. That can be your plan B.
Oh, I got another piece of news. We are going to put very soon, not today, in the next couple of days. I'll keep you surprised, give you a surprise. But in the next couple of days, we're going to do kind of a talk show style, a little bit higher level. But Ad and I are just going to free talk about a certain topic, and you've got to go on the website to download it. Hope it's a lot of fun. Add the website, please.
www.china232.com.